make. Das ist von Martin. Make.
From 1992 to 1996, Armenia's energy sector was in a dire condition. Households had electricity supply for only 2 to 4 hours a day. In those days, people would arrange their lives around the electricity supply schedule. Each illuminated minute was precious as gold. People had to get everything done within 1 or 2 hours. Cook their meals, heat the house, do the washing and ironing, and watch television. In 1996, round-the-clock electricity supply was restored, but the energy sector had serious problems. Huge electricity losses, low collection rate of bills, and unreliable service. These were issues requiring immediate action. The direct and indirect subsidies allocated for the energy sector were about $140 million a year, about 11% of the country's gross domestic product. In those years, the Armenian government, with the help of the World Bank and other donors, began implementing major reforms in the sector. Armenergo, the giant state-owned entity, was unbundled and replaced by separate independent companies responsible for electricity generation, transmission, and distribution. An independent Public Services Regulatory Commission was established. Cost recovery tariffs were set. The Settlement Center and the Electric Power System Operator were established. The sector opened up for private investment. Most of the power generation plants and the distribution grid were privatized. Service quality indicators were defined. A new era of development began for the energy sector. The crisis years, when the electricity inspector could arbitrarily cut off supply to a consumer, became history. Inspector Martin Petrosyan has been working for the electric networks of Armenia since 2006. During his working day, Martin has almost no interaction with residents. He records the electricity meter readings based on which consumers are billed at the end of each month. Martin's phone number is written on the meter boxes. People can call the inspector when they have a problem. But there are almost no cases when someone disagrees with the meter reading. Payments for billed electricity are almost 100%.
There used to be problems between inspectors and residents. We don't have these problems now. Residents have realized that it is better to pay on their own and have the payment receipt at hand.
5 years ago, the western branch of the electric networks of Armenia used to receive 15 customer complaints a day. In 2010, this branch, serving hundreds of thousands of customers, has received only 43 such complaints. Now, an automated system recording electricity consumption is being installed here. Electronic meters exclude the human factor from the process. Meter readings are sent directly to the settlement center.
If we compare the system in our district to what we had in the past, the tendency towards reduction of electricity losses is evident. We have around 8 substations which operate with this system. The average annual loss, depending on the season, used to be 15, 20, or 25%. These numbers are down to about 3 to 5%. I think the numbers say it all.
The outcomes of the reforms were remarkable, and the 24-hour reliable supply of electricity became a reality. Electricity losses were reduced more than twofold. Collection rates doubled. The annual subsidy of $140 million was eliminated, and the energy sector transformed from a huge burden on the state budget to one of its biggest taxpayers.
I would say that the reforms in the energy sector yielded impressive results, and the sector is in a much better shape compared to other branches of our economy, both in terms of service quality and safety and reliability of operations.
The end of the energy crisis in Armenia is often referred to as a past stage. That is how rap singer H.T. Haiko, brought up during the energy crisis years, titled his song, Gone Period. Heriknaz Harutyunyan was editor of the youth magazine 21 in the years of the energy crisis. The office did not have round-the-clock electricity supply. She had to work from home sometimes.
It was cold and dark at home, horrible conditions. We would light a kerosene heater and sit next to it. But how long can you edit texts sitting by a kerosene heater under the candlelight? We were damaging our eyesight. So I began to edit standing, and that became a habit. Standing very close to the window for more light, I'd read the texts and edit them with a pencil at hand.
The best present one could get in those years was a good candlestick or a small kerosene heater. Heriknaz has kept hers as a memory of the crisis years. The end of the crisis was the beginning of a new era for Armenia, which brought along new priorities: energy security and reliability, electricity supply affordability, good quality and safe heating. The electricity supply issue was resolved, but heating was still a problem. The district heating system inherited from the Soviet Union had collapsed. People used wood or liquid fuel for heating. Socially vulnerable families would often burn their household waste. People would use handmade furnaces or electric heaters. This was not only a more costly option for heating, but also a dangerous one. Violations of safety regulations often resulted in explosions, fires, and poisonings.